Hey there friends, I'm Andrew from the Scrap Box, and today we're making a bigger, better Balrog. You see, LEGO just released their Balrog Book Nook, and it's bad. It's really bad. And expensive. $130. Yikes. Which begs the question, can we make a better Balrog that is bigger and buffer and beefier than this tiny tyke right here? And can we do it for less money? That's what we're here to find out.
Why is the Book Nook bad?
Okay, fine. I'm gonna explain why this is bad, and I'm gonna do it in under 1 minute. Go. 1. The Balrog Book Nook is a fun title, but a bad concept. Book nooks are thin, tall scenes that fit between books. Alleys, streets, and corridors make great book nooks because they're thin and tall. But like trying to turn a movie into a short, the wider the scene, the more you have to chop away and the less the scene makes sense. A narrow bridge is only narrow when you show the vast chasm below. If you crop off the chasm, it just becomes a floor. 2. There are no new minifigures. This Gandalf is from the Shire set, and a majority of LEGO collectors buy sets just for the minifigs. That's why LEGO produces abominations like this, with exclusive figures like this. 3. The Balrog is tiny and squished. What's supposed to be a primordial and humongous being has been panini pressed into a much smaller creature. 4. Its price tag is shooting way over its 10-cent per piece ratio without bringing anything of value. There are no big figs, only 3 exclusive prints, and a pair of thin plastic wings. 5. It's ugly. That's more of an opinion than facts like the other ones, but many have commented the resemblance of this and this. Time. Alright, now that we've confirmed that this is bad, let's make a better one. Let's get to it. Like some dungeon cats, I have approximate knowledge of many things. But while I've read the books and watched the movies, my knowledge of the Tolkien universe couldn't fill a kiddie pool. What I'm trying to say is when I inevitably call this primordial spirit that shaped the world a scary demon thing, try not to boil mash and make my soul into a stew. For instance, just recently I learned that there are multiple Balrogs and their size and form changes based on the source. One Balrog is noted as no larger than a man, while another is twice the height of a person, and so forth. Luckily, with the help of a pause button and simple comparison, we can claim that our Balrog today has the head size of one minifigure. With that given, we can extrapolate the rest of the body and add some questionable limb proportions, then confirm that our Balrog could swallow one Gandalf whole.
Close enough.
Most journeys begin at home, and home is where the heart is, so we must start our adventure with the chest. This Balrog has upgraded from the average 5 movable growths coming out of a torso to 8, which means we need a solid core and lots of Technic joints. While the Balrog Gandalf fight seems to be made out of fire, bones, and smoke, LEGO hasn't released their semi-corporeal smoke bricks yet, so we're gonna have to take some creative liberties. LEGO has made their Balrog completely black, while their much better video game Balrog is engulfed in flames. It turns out that almost every Balrog model produced has a different color scheme, but we're going to take inspiration from Asmus Collectibles' Organic Balrog and give that stomach a dark tan shading, and a set of man boobs.
Man boobs.
To give the Balrog its hunch shape, I use these hinge pieces to connect the hips and chest at a slight angle. This will shift its center of mass so the incredibly top-heavy creature will have some semblance of balance. From this point, I'm going to call the Balrog Barry. And Barry needs some hips that just won't lie, and also a place to attach his tail. With both sides of his frame connected, we can give him his signature flaming mohawk, and with that we have a weird and indiscernible shape. Wonderful! Let's give it some legs! Now everyone knows that humanoids with weird backwards legs are always evil. The Hell Knights, Minotaurs, Mr. Tumnus, all pure evil. And the Balrog is no exception. Unless he is, I don't know the lore. But fortunately, I can build this Spectre of Darkness some sturdy joints as I finally got this Technic connector. Unfortunately, it's not the right color, but we work with what we've got. So far, the legs have been one smooth move after the other, but the only thing I don't like about these legs are the toe claws. They protrude a lot. But this is one of those real-world physics compromises that we've got to make, and overall he looks...
Really?
He's looking pretty good so far. A fan better than I could probably tell us, if Balrogs are fallen Maiar, and the Maiar helped form the universe and the world itself, does that mean that Barry does, in fact, have a tale as old as time? Also, Lego, when are you gonna make these plates in different colors? Please, I need them. Alright, Barry, just bend over and take a deep breath. All better. You know, for something so evil, I find myself very relaxed around Barry. He's so disarming. It's probably the lack of arms, but we could fix that. You've probably realized at this point that I've been setting all of my pieces out in patterns, and that's for two reasons. One, it helps me remember where each piece goes, but more importantly, two, it makes me feel like a paleontologist, putting together dinosaur bones in an intricate puzzle of many pieces that form one functioning whole. Also, man, do I mess up a lot while making these? It's kinda hard to see when the camera's right in front of your face, but we do get there eventually. There we go. I think things are a little bit more back on track. It's a good arm. Now this is a clever design. You really gotta hand it to him. But I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Not at all.
Armed and dangerous!
Now we have a difficult choice to make. The Balrog's wings aren't available on pieces and parts, or bricks and pieces, or whatever you call it. Even if they were, LEGO charges an arm and leg for fabrics and plastic sheets.
It makes no sense.
I want you guys to be able to build this at home, and I want to prove that it'd be cheaper than LEGO's set. If I made bony wings, even though that's how they appear in the film, we're gonna get a mob of people without critical thinking skills in the comments yelling about, "Yours sucks because you didn't even make real wings." However, if I made custom fabric wings, they'd be hard for others to replicate. And there'd be an angry mob of people in the comments saying, "Yours sucks because the wings aren't part of the cost, and not real LEGO." If I made brick-built wings, they'd be heavy, and clunky, and ugly, and there'd be an angry mob of people for some reason. But when in doubt, you can always rely on Batman. Specifically, you can rely on him for these wings, which appear in many Batman sets. More important is the fact that they're also available on bricks and pieces. And while one wing is way too small for our bud Barry here, we can make an armature of 3 of them for a much larger tattered wing. And with these connected, we can have the best oh wait, hold on. There we go. The best wings available to everyone. Now we just need to build the head. Actually, I think these 3 dots make the face. It's the perfect head already! Video's over! No? Okay, fine. It's been so long. I tried to make the perfect face, but it just wouldn't work. I spent hours and hours and hours, 2 whole days, just making and tearing apart face after face after face, but I couldn't get it right. LEGO just cheated by using prints and custom molded horn pieces. How could any mere mortal even hope of making a halfway decent Balrog head? I'm so sorry, Baramy. You've been incomplete for so long, and there's no way to make you... What's that? It's done? Oh, neat. I'm not gonna take this one apart to build on camera because it really did take me 2 days to get this right. But, we'll definitely put the head on now. Now that the head is made, I have to say, I think I like everything but the eyes. Let's take a look at the full Balrog here. He looks brilliant. He's so big, I couldn't give him a perfect backdrop, but what you gonna do? I placed Gandalf down there for size comparison, and if we hold him up, Gandalf is approximately the size of Barry's head, so we were right on the money. In fact, my drawing was remarkably close in scale as well. I also built him his flaming sword, mostly so we wouldn't have to see him piss magma if I tried to build a whip. Now that is incredible. So we have our Balrog, but how much does he cost? Well, there's 2 ways to do this. We can look at Studio's part list. They average out the Bricklink prices, and it's more accurate to how LEGO actually prices their sets. Let's take a look at that. As you can see, I've built Barry on Studio so I can make instructions for my Patreon members, but if I go to Model Info, it'll show me the parts, the average cost of each part, and the total cost down here. We're gonna round that to $55. That's really, I did not piece this out beforehand, and I'm very impressed with that price. That's really good. But I'm sure you're wondering, Andrew, I don't want to go to all these Bricklink sites. I just want to order it directly from LEGO. And you can do that. LEGO has pieces and parts where you can order it directly from their site brand new. Problem is, it's more expensive. If you want individual parts for a project, LEGO knows that they can charge you extra for funsies, because they can. Let's see, how much does the Balrog cost with parts and pieces? Altogether, the price comes out to $62, but I'm gonna round that up to $65, as even though I went through each item on my list, LEGO says there's a 14-piece discrepancy. Also, FYI, this does include the flame sword piece, but in purple as they don't have it in yellow. We're still really under our limit. Wait a minute. You know what that means, right? What if we set the standard price at the $130, and then we took the Balrog and we just filled in the rest of it with cool stuff? Let's see what we can make then. Note, for this challenge I'm just using Studio prices as they're more comparable to LEGO's set prices. As I build this giant display base, I just wanted to say thank you to my wonderful Patreon supporters. They are the reason I get to do all this fun and weird stuff. I'll be making instructions for Barry the Balrog as well as this base over the weekend and giving it to my Patreon subscribers. So if you like what I do, Patreon is the best way to support me. Thank you guys so much. You are all amazing. Okay, we've got 4 pieces to this base. The first 2 pieces are identical. They are both columns and they are huge. They've got great detail all around them and a place for Technic pins. Our third item is the base itself. This is what Barry stands on. It looks very nice from the front, however it is just a facade, so no complete 360s on this one. I'm sure you noticed that it also has Technic pins, which means you can firmly attach your 2 columns to either side. The fourth item is the beginning of the bridge. Man, I wish I was able to make this go out further, but it probably wouldn't work well for normal display purposes, and also I'm cutting the budget really close. Together they look like this, but I want to see them in action.
This thing is so big, I could put my whole head right here. Hi, Gandalf.
Not only have we made a bigger, better, beefier, buffer, hulkish, humongous, other words for huge Balrog to fight our little Gandalf, but we've given him a big base as well, and we've done it for under the original price of this book nook, which means there's no reason to get the book nook unless you really want a 2x6 tile that says you shall not pass. As always, I've been Andrew, you've been watching the Scrap Box. Make sure to do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you want me to build next. And before I go, make sure to do one nice deed for today. It's what Gandalf would have wanted. All right, bye.